What is up? What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Nana is laughing at me. Nine is laughing at me, y'all, while I'm doing my reactions. What is going on? Now, check this out. Check it out without a doubt. Uncle Mike gonna tell you what it's all about. Check it, man. The disturbing secret Hollywood warning Teddy Pendergrass not to reveal. Teddy Pendergrass not to reveal. Now, I had an opportunity to produce a song that landed on Teddy Pendergrass album. I'm so excited I can barely talk, y'all. Yeah, that's right. Uncle Mike had the opportunity to actually work in the studio with Teddy Pendergrass. We did a song together. Actually, I did 3 songs. I'm telling a lie, y'all. Actually, it was 2.5 songs. 1 song I cut. So it's not a song if you cut it, because he wasn't getting the flow, man. So I cut one of the songs before it even was finished. But it was 3. We worked on 3 songs. One of them never got finished, and the other one got voted off the album. So one of the songs that I did made the album, and the other song got voted off the album. So, but when I was there, I had an opportunity to sit down and really talk to Teddy Pendergrass about the music industry and a lot of different things that was happening behind the scenes, that a lot of the stuff he didn't tell me about. But his driver, y'all, told me a story that I'm gonna see if they cover it in here, and if they don't cover it, I swear to y'all, I'm gonna take my time and let y'all know my thoughts and what I got out of it and the time I spent with him. I spent a couple of weeks with him, man. So I got a good vibe on Teddy Pendergrass as a person, as an artist. I talked to him about all the amazing things that he did and how he looked at the music industry. So y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, stay to the end, because Uncle Mike got some deep personal things to tell you. Let's check this bad boy out. Yeah.
Turn off the light and light a candle.
Singer Teddy Pendergrass is in critical condition right now in a Philadelphia hospital.
I never really got a chance to tell my side of things, and it was important to me. It's very important to me. The car started speeding up really fast, and I was wondering, was he driving fast? But he wasn't. It was out of control, and I noticed he was struggling with the wheel.
Teddy Pendergrass had it all: fame, fortune, and a voice that could make the world stop. But just as he reached the peak of his career, tragedy struck. But what if that accident wasn't just an accident? Was Teddy Pendergrass silenced for knowing too much?
I did not have to change what I believe in to make what I enjoy doing work for me.
And did powerful people in Hollywood warn him not to reveal certain secrets? This story is deeper than just a car crash. It's a tale of power, sabotage, and the dark underbelly of the music industry. From an early age, music was a big part of Teddy's life. He started singing at just 2 years old, and by 3, he amazed his church community by performing "If I Could Write a Letter to Heaven." Growing up, Teddy's love for music was nurtured by his mother, who encouraged his passions and made sure he had opportunities to explore his talents. Whether it was singing in school choirs or enjoying activities like ice skating, Ida ensured Teddy had a well-rounded childhood. Teddy's school years were marked by his natural talent and academic ability. He attended McIntyre Elementary School, where he excelled, and stayed involved in choirs throughout his education. Music wasn't just a hobby. It was quickly becoming his passion.
For many, many years, I had no idea of what I could do or what I had to do to keep my life moving forward.
When Teddy was young, his mother worked in a building that housed musical equipment. Teddy used to sneak off to play the drums during her shifts, fueling his growing love for music. Their move to an apartment near the Uptown Theater, a hub for Philadelphia's R&B scene, was another turning point. Teddy often watched legendary Motown artists perform there, but it was Jackie Wilson who made the biggest impression on him. Watching Wilson's electrifying performances and the frenzy he caused among female fans inspired Teddy to dream of becoming a star himself. As a teenager, Teddy started to drift from his religious upbringing but stayed deeply connected to music. He joined school choirs, including the Edison Master Singers at Edison High School, and worked hard to hone his craft. However, life wasn't always smooth. Growing up in Philadelphia during a time of gang violence presented challenges. One night, Teddy witnessed a robbery, but was wrongly arrested for the crime. He was sentenced to 4 months at the Youth Study Center, a traumatic experience that left a lasting mark on him.
In that, I understand, and I began to understand, that those are some of the key elements that people are concerned with once you have.
Despite these setbacks, Teddy's determination never wavered.
See, I never knew that. I never knew he was arrested. They never talked, 2 weeks, I guess you can't talk about everything. They never talked about that, even the driver. Pay attention, man, the driver spilled a lot of beans that I'm going to reveal if they don't reveal it, the driver.
His Christian upbringing instilled in him a strong work ethic, and he was committed to earning an honest living while chasing his dream of becoming a singer. He took every opportunity he could, from drumming gigs at small local clubs to forming a group called the 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 with his friends Tony Talent and Kenny Gamble. Writer and producer Leon Huff recalled how Teddy's voice stood out. His voice just roared over you. He had that baritone voice, but Teddy was raw. I think Teddy really knew how good he was, but he started as a drummer who sang in the background. Teddy may have started behind the drums, but it was clear he was destined to be center stage. Through hard work and a passion for music, Teddy Pendergrass laid the foundation for a career that would make him one of the greatest voices in R&B history. The turning point came when they met G. Lawson, a talent scout who became their manager and promised them stardom. Under Lawson's guidance, Teddy recorded singles such as We Got Love, Angel with Muddy Feet, and Should I Go or Should I Stay? Unfortunately, Lawson vanished and the records were never released, leaving Teddy without direction. At 18, Teddy Pendergrass seized an opportunity in Atlantic City, a hub for vibrant clubs with non-stop live music. Working as a waiter at Reggie Edgehill's Supper Club, he stumbled upon a life-changing chance when Little Royal, a performer styled after James Brown, needed a new drummer. Teddy auditioned and impressively secured the job. However, dissatisfaction with financial arrangements led him to leave when the group toured Quebec in Canada and headed back home disappointed. Despite this setback, his determination remained unshaken. He joined a group called Signs of the Times as a drummer and later moved to the Soul Messengers. Eventually, he was hired by a group called the Cadillacs, where his journey took a significant turn. One night, while performing with them, Harold Melvin of the well-established Blue Notes recognized Teddy Pendergrass's talent. Seeking fresh talent for his group, Melvin offered Teddy a position as a drummer. This decision would soon propel Teddy's career in unforeseen ways. Working with Harold Melvin marked a pivotal moment in Teddy's career, as he often reflected on this period as the most significant in his professional life. He credited Harold with teaching him vital survival skills in the competitive show business world.
Now, this is where he started talking to me about Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes was the group that he sung in that gave him the top of the line stardom and recognition of his career. But we still haven't gotten into what the driver, Teddy Pendergrass driver, was letting loose on everything, man. Let's check it. Let's keep going.
At that time, the Blue Notes, though regularly booked, were not yet headliners. Their persistence and resilience, however, kept them going. Teddy, in particular, honed his drumming skills and started gaining recognition in the field. Despite their efforts, the absence of major hits meant performing in smaller venues, leading to financial struggles. There were days when they went hungry and had difficulty affording hotel rooms. Teddy, known for his impatience, dreamed of singing, but found the opportunity far-fetched. As a drummer, he occasionally sang with the group, but grew frustrated with the lack of opportunities to lead. Overheard discussing his intention to quit with a club dancer, Harold Melvin, not wanting to lose him, offered Teddy a chance to join the singing group. Teddy accepted the offer eagerly. Teddy's addition to the singing lineup, sharing lead vocals with Harold, began to draw more recognition and shows. Though financial hardships persisted, their fortune turned in 1972 during a performance at the Apollo Club in Camden, New Jersey. There, they caught the attention of Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff from Philadelphia International Records.
Pendergrass was singing, and Huff called me later that day and said, "Man, you gotta hear this guy."
He was just singing nonchalantly.
Their interest in the group marked the beginning of a brighter future. Harold Melvin rebranded the group to Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes to assert his leadership, and due to his envy towards the now fan favorite, Teddy Pendergrass. Under the new label, the group released their first single, I Miss You, in August 1972. The follow-up hit, If You Don't Know Me By Now, in September catapulted them to mainstream success, topping the U.S. R&B chart and reaching number 3 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. Teddy's success with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes brought him fame, wealth, and an extravagant lifestyle aligning with his dreams. If there wasn't no Teddy, there wouldn't have been no Blue Notes, says singer Charles Mint, who recorded with Pendergrass in the mid-60s under the direction of Uplooks Lawson and producer Jesse Herring. And if there wasn't no Teddy, there wouldn't have been no big-time Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff either. However, the thrill was short-lived as he became increasingly frustrated within the group. Despite being the key factor in the group's flourishing career, Teddy felt undervalued and overshadowed by Harold Melvin. Harold's authoritative control and minimal contribution to the group's performances irked him. Teddy was aware of Harold's exploitative tendencies and grew increasingly disillusioned, particularly when Harold's arrogance cost them gigs. An incident at the Playboy Club in Los Angeles exemplified this. Harold's dispute with the club management led to the group shouldering their expenses for the week, while Harold luxuriated in comfort, leaving the rest struggling financially. When the group approached Teddy to request financial help from Harold, a confrontation ensued. Teddy found Harold with some of his well-heeled friends and hangers-on, laughing and joking while indulging in drugs. Teddy was furious at Harold's apparent disregard for their plight. He knew they were making money, and Harold would pay them peanuts. To calm Teddy down, Harold went over to his bedroom to get him something. A curious Teddy followed him and peeked around the doorframe, only to witness Harold picking a stack of notes, presumably thousands of dollars. After that night, Teddy decided he had enough. He was not going to tolerate the exploitation any longer and made the decision to quit the group. News of Teddy Pendergrass's departure from Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes spread, causing the group's popularity to wane and leading to other members exiting to join Teddy. Despite threats of bodily harm from Harold Melvin.
See, now I can believe that. I can believe that right there. You got to leave in order to grow. And the people that believe in you will follow you because they follow us, so to speak, man. I can believe that because I met this guy. Teddy was a stand-up guy.
After that night, Teddy decided he had enough. He was not going to tolerate the exploitation any longer and made the decision to quit the group. News of Teddy Pendergrass's departure from Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes spread, causing the group's popularity to wane and leading to other members exiting to join Teddy. Despite threats of bodily harm from Harold Melvin, Teddy remained steadfast in his pursuit of a solo career. In need of a manager to navigate the business aspects of the music industry, Teddy turned to Taz Lang, a smart and successful businesswoman and the ex-wife of Philadelphia Eagles fullback 𝗟𝗓𝗓 Lang. At the time, Taz was Teddy's girlfriend. Known for her connections with high-profile celebrities like Dionne Warwick and Nancy Wilson, Taz was admired by Teddy for her intellect and beauty. He moved into her Mount Airy home, a popular gathering place for celebrities. With their relationship flourishing, Teddy asked Taz for a $15,000 loan to support his Teddy Bear Productions company, offering her 10% of the royalties from his first album. She agreed, and despite their breakup 2 months later, Taz continued as his business manager, even negotiating a solo deal with Gamble and Huff. However, a startling discovery in the contract strained their professional relationship. Contrary to their agreement of Taz receiving 10% from only the first album, the contract entitled her to a perpetual 10% from all of Teddy's future albums and business earnings. Teddy's frustration mirrored his past experience with Harold Melvin, feeling trapped and exploited. Despite confronting Taz, she stood firm, unwilling to renegotiate or terminate the contract. Although they remained business partners, Teddy's trust in Taz wavered significantly, a stark contrast to his initial confidence in her protective instincts from exploitation within his inner circle. Taz did not leave with them and decided to go back home. She called her mother, Eva Ritter, and said, "I've got something to tell you, but I can't tell you what it is until I get there." That would be the last thing she said to her mother. On April 14th, 1977, a tragic event occurred that profoundly affected Teddy Pendergrass's life. That night, Taz Lang was fatally shot outside her home, while accompanied by Joseph Jojo Tinez, an employee of Teddy who was baffled by the sudden attack. The perpetrator emerged from nearby bushes and shot Taz, unaliving her instantly while Jojo was getting something out of the car trunk. The crime remained unsolved and shrouded in mystery. "I said, what the hell does this mean because I'm here and cannot move," Jojo recalled. The police theorized that someone might have wanted to scare her, but instead unalived her. Jojo Tinez, deeply troubled by the incident, carried the burden of that night until his death in 2013. Taz's funeral took place on April 19th, 1977 at the Second Macedonia Baptist Church, with Reverend Jesse Jackson delivering the eulogy. She was interred at Chelton Hills Cemetery in Philadelphia. At the funeral, Teddy faced suspicion and hostility, with some attendees believing he was involved in Taz's unalivement. Detective Edward Hughes said at the time, "If someone was set to unalive her, it wasn't a real professional job. If the bullet doesn't go through her arm, all she has is a serious arm injury. But anything's possible, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone had been sent there to scare her." Theories abounded, implicating the Philadelphia Black Mafia and Philadelphia International Records, who were rumored to resent Lang's influence over Teddy's career. Speculation also arose about Teddy's rekindled...
Damn, Philadelphia Black Mafia. Is that what he just said? Golly.
Through her arm, all she has is a serious arm injury. But anything's possible, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone had been sent there to scare her. Theories abounded, implicating the Philadelphia Black Mafia and Philadelphia International Records, who were rumored to resent Lang's influence over Teddy's career. Speculation also arose about Teddy's rekindled connections with childhood friends, who were now in the Mafia, believed to be a protective measure against Harold Melvin's threats. Taz Lang was known for her dedication to Teddy Bear Productions and her efforts to eliminate financial exploitation of Teddy. However, her role may have made her a target. Questions lingered. Did Teddy orchestrate the M to retaliate against Taz for contract disputes? Was it a long con for Teddy to exploit her resources and then eliminate her as she died even before his first album was released? Or was it an opportunistic act by someone else knowing the blame would likely fall on Teddy? The unresolved nature of the case suggests the involvement of powerful figures beyond Teddy. While speculation continued, Teddy, who also received threats, remained undeterred in pursuing his ambitions.
His statement to me at that point was that, Brinkley, you know, if I wanted to commit I couldn't.
A week after the tragic loss of Taz, Teddy Pendergrass made a powerful solo debut at New York City's Carnegie Hall, marking the start of a new chapter in his career. He soon released his self-titled album, which achieved platinum status, driven by the disco hit I Don't Love You Anymore and the top 20 R&B single The Whole Town's Laughing at Me. The album also featured popular tracks like You Can't Hide From Yourself, The More I Get, The More I Want, and If I Had. In 1978, Teddy's second album, Life is a Song Worth Singing, hit the shelves with standout singles like Only You, and the chart-topping R&B hit Close the Door, cementing his image as a leading symbol in soul music. The album, which reached double platinum and topped the R&B charts, included hits like Get Up, Get Down, Get Funky, Get Loose, It Don't Hurt Now, and When Somebody Loves You Back.
To be loved and be loved in
Teddy.
Yeah. Tad used to get down, baby. Yeah, Tad was that baby making music. That's what Tad was, baby making music.
Continued his success with the night Don't Hurt Now and When Somebody Loves You Back.
to be loved
be loved.
and be loved in
Teddy continued his success with the 1979 albums Teddy and Live Coast to Coast, and the 1980 album TP, featuring the hit Love TKO and a duet with Stephanie Mills, Feel the Fire, as well as the Ashford and Simpson composition, Is It Still Good to You? From 1977 to 1981, Pendergrass achieved an unprecedented feat by releasing 5 consecutive platinum albums, setting a record for an R&B artist. His skyrocketing popularity led to sold-out concerts and the innovative women-only concerts organized by his manager, Shep Gordon. These concerts, where fans often threw lingerie on stage and received chocolate-covered teddy bear lollipops, significantly boosted his fame, earning him the nickname the Black Elvis. He even bought a 34-room mansion near Philadelphia, akin to Elvis's Graceland. By 1982, Teddy Pendergrass had firmly established himself as a top R&B artist, competing with legends like Marvin Gaye and surpassing peers like Barry White. His influence was evident in the R&B genre, inspiring responses from other artists such as the Isley Brothers with their hit Don't Say Goodnight, It's Time for Love, as a homage to his song Turn Off the Lights.
don't say goodnight.
Teddy Pendergrass's meteoric rise to fame brought with it an aura of invincibility and a touch of arrogance. He was living a life of luxury, owning horses, a private jet, a variety of high-end cars, and securing lucrative endorsement deals, including with liquor companies. He even launched his own fashion line, the Teddy Pendergrass Celebrity Jeans. However, his success and lifestyle inevitably attracted envy and enemies, not only from his industry achievements, but also from personal missteps. The legendary Rick James, a fellow artist managed by Shep Gordon, allegedly warned Teddy about his reckless behavior and hubris. Teddy's habit of engaging in affairs with other men's wives and his perceived self-importance were sources of conflict. Disputes arose with notable figures like the Isley Brothers, Bobby Womack's crew, and Marvin Gaye, who accused him of imitating his style and having an affair with his wife. Teddy's penchant for speeding often put him on the police radar, and he was a target for mobster extortion attempts. The jealousy and resentment from those he had wronged also created a constant threat to his safety. On one occasion, a woman he had wronged during a tour attempted to attack him with a knife backstage, a situation he narrowly escaped due to his quick reaction. This environment of envy and vengeance was a persistent shadow over his otherwise glittering career. On March 18, 1982, just before his 32nd birthday, Teddy Pendergrass experienced a life-altering event in Philadelphia's East Falls area. He recounts in his book Truly Blessed how this incident always haunted him. That evening, Teddy, the ladies' man, was at Club Elan with a friend, 𝗟𝗓𝗓, when they were approached by 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 Watson, a person he vaguely remembered from the 70s. Unbeknownst to Teddy, 𝗗𝗢𝗡, born John Watson, had transitioned to a woman in 1977 as she felt she was trapped in the wrong body. It is said that as the night was advancing and 𝗟𝗓𝗓 had to work the next day, Teddy offered to drop her off at her place and requested 𝗗𝗗𝗡 to tag along, promising to return her to the club later. Watson recalled, "He called me over to his car. It was a Rolls Royce. I thought he was a pimp because I wasn't used to people really having Rolls Royces. He said, 'I'm getting ready to leave too. Would you like a ride home?' So I said, 'Sure.'" After dropping off 𝗟𝗓𝗓 at her place and heading back to downtown Philadelphia along Lincoln Drive, known for its treacherous curves, his Rolls Royce's brakes failed, and it crashed into a tree, paralyzing Teddy from the chest down. He had a fracture in his neck, which paralyzed his arms and legs.
Wow.
𝗗𝗗𝗡, interestingly, sustained only minor injuries, sparking various rumors and speculations among fans, including suspicions that she was part of a plot against him.
I never really got a chance to tell my side of things, and it was important to me. Yes, very important to me. The car started speeding up really fast, and I was wondering, was he driving fast? But he wasn't. It was out of control, and I noticed he was struggling.
Soon after the accident, Watson tried to reach out to Pendergrass, but she was unsuccessful. She said, "Well, you're not going to see him before his son does, and she caused this big scene," Watson said. "I just left." Investigations revealed that the car's brakes had been tampered with, leading Teddy to successfully sue Rolls-Royce. This raised questions about who would target him, considering his numerous enemies and his penchant for speeding. At the time of the accident, his driver's license had been suspended due to unpaid parking tickets, and it was later discovered that his other cars had also been tampered with. Just a week before the incident, he had been involved in a minor crash in his Maserati. Teddy believed the police might have been involved, having previously sued them for harassment. It goes without saying that the tragedy struck just as he was about to turn only 32 years old and had not even hit his peak. He was just on the verge of superstardom when it was all taken away from him. Did he fly too close to the sun and get his wings burnt off, just like the other greats at their peak? Or was it karma doing its thing for all the sins he had committed over the years? All we can do is speculate. The aftermath of Teddy Pendergrass's tragic accident in 1982 led to a profound transformation in his life. Struggling with depression and a loss of his previously unshakable confidence, he contemplated taking his own life. Adding to this, his fans had quickly moved on and shifted their attention to Marvin Gaye's new release, Healing. After a year of rehabilitation and coming to terms with his condition, Teddy made a comeback by signing with Elektra Asylum in 1983. His album, Love Language, achieved gold status in 1984, while Philadelphia International released 2 albums of his unreleased tracks. This One's For You in 1982 and Heaven Only Knows in 1983.
Hear me one more time. Help me find a perfect line. Don't throw love away.
Teddy's return to the spotlight was marked by a poignant performance at the 1985 Live Aid concert in Philadelphia, his first live appearance post-accident. The emotional performance included a rendition of Diana Ross's Reach Out and Touch, Somebody's Hand, alongside Ashford and Simpson in front of a live audience of over 99,000 and 1.5 billion TV viewers. I am truly grateful to be here today, and I want you to know I feel your love, he said. That same year, he released the album Working It Back. But just when things looked like they were going back to normal, tragedy struck again. On July 3rd, 1986, Teddy was critically injured when the specially equipped van he was driving slammed into a telephone pole. He suffered internal bleeding and underwent abdominal surgery to determine the extent of his injuries. Despite these challenges, he continued to produce music with albums like Joy in 1988, whose title track went to #1 on the R&B charts for 2 weeks, and A Little More Magic in 1993. The latter half of the 90s found Pendergrass recording for the Surefire Wind-Up label. His autobiography, Truly Blessed, was published in 1991, but from then on, he mostly retreated from the public eye, heavily attributed to health issues. On June 5, 2009, Pendergrass underwent successful surgery for colon cancer and returned home to recover. A few weeks later, he returned to the hospital with respiratory issues. After 7 months, he sadly died of respiratory failure on January 13, 2010, with his wife Joan by his side at Bryn Mawr Hospital, aged 59. He was laid to rest at West Laurel Hill Cemetery in Bala Cynwyd, Pennsylvania. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.
Wow. They didn't talk about they didn't talk about the last album. That's the album I was on, y'all. Dang. They ain't talking about the last album, so we can scratch that. But the driver, one of the things I didn't know that his handicapped van was in a car accident. Didn't know that either. But his driver that used to drive him around, the driver came and picked me up from the airport and we talked a little bit. And then we went to the studio. We was in the studio for 2 or 3 days. And he would always either come to the studio and ask us what we want for lunch or whatever. And I was so frustrated with the producers at the recording studio. So I asked him, I said, yo man, you mind if I could, cause he was the coolest one. Everybody else had a little sticky, stuck up attitude like they was stars. How a star supposed to act, right? I'm not a star yet. But anyway, so I asked him, I said, yo man, you mind if I ride with you, man? Stretch my legs, get a little breather, get away from this place for a minute. I need an air break. We used to call them air breaks. And dude, he said, yo, come on man, yeah, you can ride with me. And he started telling me everything, man. And he was like, I didn't know that people was like behind Teddy's back saying that he was gay. You know, and even back then, dog, if somebody said you was gay, then that's not cool. You not cool. So I was like, what? He said, man, because he started off almost saying, look, man, don't even believe those gay rumors about Ted. Ted ain't nowhere near gay. And I didn't think nothing of it, and I didn't think he was gay at all, because I met his wife. It's like the third time me going up to Pennsylvania to work with him. Now we in the studio working, because this is the third time I went up there. So I had met the wife, you know, Taz in the wheelchair at this time and all this stuff. And he was insistent on telling me, look, you can't believe everything everybody says, man. I know the man. I've been his driver for X amount of years, and I seen all the women and all this stuff. And I was like, because I was introduced to Teddy by a lady who was my manager, and I don't know what they did together. Only thing I know is she was lacking talent that me and Teddy was saying. But anyway, that's a whole different story. Shout out to my manager at the time. But anyway, so he was telling me, this is the story he told me, y'all. He said that, yo, I was the driver and we picked somebody up, and which was the girl that they just talked about. Picked the girl up at the club, and he driving the car. No, was Ted driving the car? The way he told the story was Ted was driving the car, and when he found out that it was a guy, I heard this story so long ago, I might be messing some parts up, but he found out that it was a guy, and he started fighting the guy in the car, and he lost control and crashed. And Ted's driver's license was bad. So when the police came, he didn't want Ted to get into any trouble. So Ted was like, put me in the back, put us in the back. And he made like he was driving. So when he moved Ted to the back, that's when Ted injuries was worsened and he got paralyzed. So, and I'm just listening. It's like all this information was volunteered to me. I didn't ask for this information. So I was like, so somebody just volunteering giving you this information, I automatically think is real and true. So I'm thinking, yo, this is crazy right here. So I'm looking at Ted, and now I'm noticing when I get back home and everything, and all my friends and all my producers and, you know, everybody that's in the music, yeah, you going up there, yeah, you like working with Ted, don't you? I was wondering why they were saying stuff like that, but Mike Cross a straight shooter. I don't give a I don't care who you want to sleep with. I just care if you want to sleep with me. If you're a beautiful looking female, then I'm interested. Hey, I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. I think I made that point pretty clear from day one. Let me know if you're an ender. If you're an ender, which means that you made it to the end of this whole video. You watched this video from beginning to end. You are an ender. Shout out to all the enders. Rest in peace to Teddy P. Enders. Say that in the end. Say, I am an ender. Rest in peace to Teddy Pendergrass. This was the start of my music industry. Because once I worked with Teddy Pendergrass, man, so many doors opened up for me, man, to do music for other people. So put that you are an ender, you have seen this, I am an ender. Put that in the comments, man, please, appreciate it, man. That helped the comments to grow and all that stuff. I am an ender, take time out and help Uncle Mike and say, I am an ender. Peace out. Y'all take it light, take it slow, tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.